manipulate consciousness is to manipulate possibilities. To manipulate possibilities is to manipulate power. My name is Dr. Amos Wilson. I was born on February 23rd, 1941 in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. During my early life, I had many occupations, such as the author of numerous books, my most famous book being The Blueprint for Black Power. I was an educator. I taught at New York University and New Rochelle University. I went on to be a political activist and a social justice advocate. I was a part of numerous educational, cultural, and political organizations, such as the First World Alliance, African Echoes, the African Poetry Theater, the Slave Trade Theater, and CMOTAP. Throughout my studies, I found that our consciousness has been diminished. Why and how is it possible for us to number over 1 billion people, and yet we are ruled by a fraction of Earth's population? Many of the most important things and problems that we talk about come from our powerlessness. We may talk about the European being an Iceman. Talk about him protecting his genes. Talk about him in a number of ways. But in the end, he does. Because he can. It doesn't matter why he does it. What matters is that he does it, and he does it to us, and gets away with it. If we want to solve this problem and stop him, it means that we are to gain equal or greater power. If you want to understand any problem in America, we need to focus on who profits from that problem, not who suffers. Thank you.
Now, after Barbara Reggie, I'll come back up again because we have to give our judges some time to deliberate. But without further ado, we will now have Barbara Reggie Singleton calling on the spirit of Dr. Vernon Johns.
Go down, Moses, way down in Egypt's land. Hello, hello, let my people go. Happy New Day.
Happy New Day.
My name is the Reverend Dr. Vernon Johns. I grew up in Virginia and graduated from Oberlin College in Ohio. And I had the great honor of being able to be the type of pastor that not only preached spirituality, but to bring forth liberation theology. I've lived in somewhat relative obscurity. Many of you may not even be familiar with me. In fact, you all are well informed and well aware of Dr. Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, etc. But I am regarded as the father of the modern-day civil rights movement. After leaving Oberlin College, I met my wife, Tony. In fact, Tony's father was one of the presidents at Livingstone College in Salisbury, North Carolina. But Tony and I had 6 children, 3 boys and 3 girls. And as I've traveled throughout the South, one of the things that stayed with me and one of the things that I found most distasteful and resentful was the hatred, the segregation, and white supremacy that exists in the South. And as a result, I use every moment, every waking moment to not be silent about it. So when I became the pastor at Dexter Avenue Baptist Church in 1948, one of the things I tried to do with that congregation, and this was a very tough congregation. Does anyone go to Friendship? Anyone familiar with Friendship Missionary Baptist Church? Okay, all right. Dexter Avenue Baptist Church was somewhat similar. It's a very educated, very dignified congregation. They were learned. Many of them were doctors and lawyers, and in many respects maybe even set themselves apart from the rest of our society. But what I tried to do was to have them to understand that if you don't use your spirituality to address what is obvious and to solve the problems, the unique problems that our community is inundated with and our people suffer from, then this is an empty practice that you have. So I noticed, Bob Anthony and Sister Anthony, I noticed that some of the parishioners in here was noticing my clothes. As I was doing my sermon here, you were looking at my shoes and you noticed that I didn't have any strings in my shoes. But the reason why I refused to buy these strings of the macaroon is that until the Negro starts producing them, I'm not going to wear them. In fact, Scripture reminds us that wine maketh merry, and money answereth all things. And what that means is that he who has the money has the power. And so therefore, as black folk, or as Negroes at the time, we got to stop giving our money away. So that's why when the warriors from the Mail's Place came to my home in 2007, and most recently in 2016, I was so impressed with them brothers because they get it. They're able to functionally intersect spirituality with food sovereignty. Of course, we're all going to eat. And so that's why I farm in this parcel here. And we don't separate sovereignty and food and freedom because it's all connected. So let me just put this in perspective for you. Some of you, again, have not been familiar with my work, but it shows the importance of you doing all you can in the limited time on this earth that we have. And so you all are aware of in 1954 and 55 what went on with Emmett Till and Sister Rosa Parks. Much of that was inspired, much of the boycott that came after that, the economic bus boycott that went on over a year, came on from the very same congregation that was refusing to take on the direct action that I was noted for. So it just goes to show that you do all you can, keep praying, but you also got to keep working. Work without faith is dead, right? Or faith without work is dead. So I say this to you in closing, as still hear my father saying, if you see a good fight, get in it.